ABM, or account-based marketing. This is a buzzword that you've probably come across if you work in marketing or sales. And today, I'm going to show you what it really means and how you can build a strategy around it. ABM emphasizes rolling the red carpet for your dream clients. Instead of contacting multiple companies and shooting generic messages and emails, ABM means that you focus your priority targets and try to close the deals with them. It's a bit like dating, where instead of sending 50 people an "Hey, what's up" message, you instead focus on that one person who you want to build a relationship with. You take the time to learn their interests, understand their pain points, and then reach out to them with a very personal message. And ABM is basically the same thing in a professional setting when it comes to prospecting. So for example, let's say you are a company that provides a software specifically for the healthcare industry. In this case, hospitals could be an ideal customer for you, but you don't want to reach out to all the hospitals in your country or your geographical region. Instead, take a list of 10 or maybe 15 hospitals and understand their pain points, their challenges, and reach out to them with personalized, tailored messages. This is what it means to build an account-based marketing strategy. With that, let me show you how you can build a list of high-profile clients with an ABM strategy that will help you close those high-value deals. The first thing that you need to build an ABM strategy is your ideal customer profile, or your ICP. So what is an ICP? Think of it as a perfect match for your business. A company that fits into your ICP will want your product because it solves a problem for them. And on your end, they will be perfect because they can afford to buy your product or your license and can help you reach your revenue goals. And why is this step so critical to an ABM strategy? Well, because without an ICP, you're basically shooting in the dark. And the whole point of ABM is to avoid that. When you know your ICP, you know that these companies will value your product, have the budget to purchase it, and believe in the solution that you're offering. At the same time, you know that they have a particular pain point that can be solved by your value proposition. So it will be easier for you to close a deal with them. So how do you start building your ICP? Well, according to me, one of the best ways to get started with building an ICP is by looking at your current customer list. Look at the customers that you already have. Note down the kinds of deals, the licenses that they've taken, and try to identify common themes and patterns between them. Also, include the sales team in this process of building your ICP. Now, you may ask me why, because ABM clearly is for marketing, but the sales team is the team that is actually talking to your customers and the prospects. They know what pain points exist in the market and what pain points are being solved by your product or offering. So with those insights, you can build a very detailed ICP that will help your ABM efforts. To identify what common themes or patterns might exist across the different accounts that are already in your customer base, have a look at factors such as the location or the company size or the revenue. Revenue in particular is a really good indicator of whether a potential company can actually afford your product or not. Another element that you might consider are some technographic elements. For example, what tech stack do your potential customers use? If you work in the SaaS or software industry, it might be that your product requires a particular tech stack at your prospect's end for it to function. For example, if you are an outreach solution that works only with HubSpot, then you need your potential prospect to have HubSpot in the first place. Look for these themes and patterns across your existing customers and then try to apply that to your potential target list, and that will bring you closer to your ideal customer profile. Now that you know who your ICP is, you want to start building a target list of accounts and prioritizing them. So what criteria should you use to prioritize them? And in my opinion, it should be their growth potential. Which companies perfectly match your ICP but can help your revenue grow the most? These are the ones ones that you put at the top of your priority list. And to build these lists, you have a number of tools. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is one such tool that allows you to search for companies based off of your selected filters, be it location, employee size, or keywords. Surfe is another tool that can help you do the same. But in addition to all the features that Sales Navigator provides, Surfe also has a lookalikes feature where you can put the name of an existing customer of yours and Surfe will provide other companies that are identical to that one. If you want to see how Surfe's company search or lookalike search works, then I'll drop in a link to another video in the description and feel free to check it out as it's really helpful. Next up is identifying the key contacts within the accounts that make up your ICP. For an ABM strategy to be effective, it's not enough that you just have a list of accounts. You need to know the right people within those accounts to target. And why is that so important? Because, well, in B2B sales, typically there are a large number of decision makers and you want to ensure that your marketing efforts are reaching out to the right people. For example, if your product is one that provides analytics on sales data or pipeline data and you know which accounts you want to target, you still want to find the head of sales or head of RevOps or CMOs, as these are the people who will truly care about your product. If you know the right accounts, but you're reaching out to someone in finance or HR in these accounts, then it's basically wasted marketing effort, right? Once you know who the key individuals in your target accounts are, then you must start building some relationships with them. And this is important because normally in a B2B sales cycle, there are up to 7 decision makers. So if you have a personal relationship with 1 or 2 of them, it can go a long way in helping you get that deal. How you build a relationship with these people also depends on where you are in your sales cycle. For example, if you're just reaching out to these prospects, you might want to start off by sending a LinkedIn connection request and engaging in conversations on LinkedIn. But if it's someone who you already know or have prospected in the past, then you can share some sales enablement content that emphasizes the pain points that they have and how your offering or product can solve that for them. Decision makers can be C-level executives, heads of departments, or other influencers, and you want to tailor your relationship based on the position that they hold. Now that you've identified your ICP, target accounts, and the key personnel within this account, you might think that most of the work is done. But let me tell you, there's one really important step, and that is data enrichment. Because you could have all the right people in your database, but if you don't have the right details about them, then it really isn't worth that much. Because let's say you've got the head of sales of a target account that is a dream match for you, but you don't have his or her email address or phone number, or you have the wrong details in those fields, then how are you going to reach out to them? All the time and effort that you spend in building those outreach messages and other marketing content are never going to reach to that person because you don't have the right data. So that's why it's critical that you use either a third-party provider or any inbuilt tool that can verify the data that's in your CRM, and if there's no data, then provide that for you. Surfe is one such tool that can provide valid business email addresses and mobile phone numbers so that your outreach efforts always reach the inbox and not the spam folder. The final step to building your ABM outreach strategy is personalizing the outreach content. Once you've got all the previous steps covered, you want to focus on ensuring that the messaging to these accounts is relevant to them and personal to their problems. Don't shoot out generic messages that simply talk about your features or your product's benefits, but instead tailor that to challenges that your potential target account is facing. For example, if you know that an account of yours has been pumping in a lot of money in the R&D of a new AI tool for the healthcare sector, then in your messaging, make sure that you add some points from this research, or in your value proposition, you address certain problems of the research that can be fixed. You must realize that you're not the only person who's shooting these outreach messages to your target prospects. So you want to find ways to stand out from your competitors, and personalizing your emails and really personalizing them, not doing the bare minimum, is a sure shot way to get ahead of the line and be in the minds of your prospects when they have to decide which company to go for. with these leads. So take insights and feedback from those conversations and use that to revamp your strategy so that it continues to remain effective. With that, I'm sure that you've got the building blocks ready to start creating an effective ABM campaign. Feel free to check out Surfe. I'll leave the link in the description below. It's free for 14 days. And if you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos coming your way. See you around.